The human body, a miracle of evolution, a temple of divine engineering, and for most of you reading this, a creaky, locked up junkyard jalopy. And no, I'm not talking about your bad knees, your rounded shoulders, or your stiff neck that's so tight it could double as a guitar string. I'm talking about the real MVPs of human movement, the qua, the pelvis, and the perineum. Yes, you heard me right. The qua, that mysterious hinge in your hips. The pelvis, your body's cradle of civilization. And the perineum, aka the taint, the no man's land between your two primary zones of shame. These are the unsung heroes of your body, ignored, overlooked, and locked up tighter than Fort Knox in most people. And let me tell you, their neglect is the reason why you're walking around like a marionette with tangled strings, or worse, sitting in a chair all day looking like a question mark. But don't worry, you're not alone. Society has taught us to worship our abs and glutes while completely forgetting the quiet foundation that makes everything else possible. So let's dive into this uncomfortable conversation like your uncle dives into conspiracy theories at Thanksgiving, and figure out why these areas matter, why you've been screwing them up, and how to fix them before your body gives up entirely. In internal arts, like Tai Chi and Qigong, the Gong is everything. It's where power is generated, transferred, and distributed. Think of it as your body's gearbox. But for most of you, the qua isn't a gearbox. It's a rusted out hinge that hasn't been oiled since the Clinton administration. Why? Because you sit all day. You sit at work, you sit in your car, you sit on your couch binge-watching Netflix like it's a competitive sport. All this sitting has turned your KWA into a concrete slab. No mobility, no strength, just a big old bundle of dysfunction. And then you wonder why your lower back hurts, your knees ache, or your power in Tai Chi feels about as potent as a soggy paper towel. Spoiler alert, it's your locked up quawa. Now let's talk about the pelvis, the throne of your body. This is the hub of all movement, the literal center of your universe. It houses your organs, supports your spine, and connects your upper and lower body. If your pelvis is misaligned or locked up, everything else goes to hell. Your posture, screwed. Your gait, awkward. Your sex life, let's not even go there. The problem is, most people treat their pelvis like a rock rather than the dynamic, adaptable structure it is. It's supposed to tilt, rotate, and move with fluidity. But because of our sedentary lifestyles, most of us have pelvises that are tighter than a hipster's jeans. And don't even get me started on pelvic floor dysfunction. You've got people out here clenching their pelvises like they're holding in a fart at a job interview, and then they wonder why their lower backs feel like they've been hit by a truck. The perineum, the taint, the Bermuda Triangle of the human body. This area is critical for stability, energy flow, and overall health, but most people have no idea it even exists. In Qigong and Tai Chi, the perineum is like a switchboard for energy transfer. And yet, for the average person, it's deader than Blockbuster. Why? Because no one ever told you how to activate it. You've been walking around with a clenched or completely numb perineum for years. If you've ever done a Qigong exercise and thought, I don't feel anything, that's because your perineum is about as awake as you are during a 6 a.m. Zoom call. You can't move energy through a body part you've ignored for decades. Now let's get real. If you're practicing Tai Chi or Qigong, these areas aren't just important, they're the game. Without an open KWA, your movements are stiff and disconnected. Without a mobile pelvis, your spine can't align properly. Without an active perineum, you might as well be doing interpretive dance because you're not moving energy effectively. The internal arts are all about efficiency, fluidity, and connection. But if these foundational areas are locked up, you're fighting an uphill battle. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a swamp. Sure, you might make some progress, but sooner or later, it's all going to come crashing down. The kiwa, pelvis, and perineum are the unsung heroes of your body, the foundation of movement, health, and internal power. Ignore them at your peril, but if you're willing to put in the effort, you'll unlock a whole new level of freedom, strength, and connection. And who knows, maybe you'll even stop moving like Frankenstein's monster. So get off your ass, literally, and start paying attention to the parts of your body you've been neglecting. Your kiwariwa, pelvis, and perineum are calling. Don't let them down.